because I'm not happy to be a minister. People think I'm happy to be a minister. No, I'm happy to be able to serve our country on this level.
But if you look deep into him, he's using that to close down his own traumas.
Zuma, that thing is finished called EFF. I mean, like, it's finished. Let me tell you, they can talk. There's no ideology left. It's just insults that's left there.
You listen to Gayton, and then you go and look at the podcast of Scheme GP where he interviews ex-prisoners. And they explain those traumas. You're like, huh? There's no way this one survived those things.
I'm just saying, let's build this country. We South Africans, we are a marvelous country. We're the best country in the world. And I'm happy. And I can see the wonderful country that we are. We have forgotten that we're one of the best countries in the world. We're special. And we have forgotten that we are the best country in the world. And
So Sports Minister McKenzie has actually come under some heat recently as being too happy, especially coming from the EFF. Let's listen quickly to this one.
Actually, it was Gayton who was pushing that narrative of us dying with Andile Mqitama and those bank statements. Interestingly, it's the same Gayton now who says what Zuma has achieved, what all of us failed to achieve in the past 10 years by finishing this EFF. I'm like, but this loser is nowhere anywhere close to us politically. Not in maybe gangsterism, which he says he's good at, or those things of prison and all of that. He might be good on that one. But if you look deep into him, he's using that to close down his own traumas. I mean, if you want to know how Gayton thinks, there is no way prison has got its own traumas. Sure. You go and look at, you listen to Gayton, and then you go and look at the podcast of Scheme GP where he interviews ex-prisoners. And they explain those traumas. You're like, huh? There's no way this one survived those things. So he pretends to be happy, but as he sits home alone, his demons visit him. And he wish he was like us. He will never be us. He's nowhere close to us, political, and he's no one to declare the death of the EFF. I mean, personally.
And also, McKenzie has also come under a lot of heat as regards the resignation of 4 young MPs from the Parliament of South Africa. I think I'll be going through that news quickly. And so there's a lot of critique coming up against him being a happy, jolly fellow and someone who's actually trying to cover, some of his traumas, as we could hear from the EFF. But anyway, Minister McKenzie doesn't seem to care about those things, and he's really pushing. You can feel his passion from this video. He's really energetic, really trying to really fight towards, the building up on bringing back the glory of South Africa. Let's listen to how he really describes his achievements in the short time he has been sports minister. And I'll be back for some really interesting analysis on his reaction, McKenzie's reaction on Danny Jordan's appearance in court and the judgment regarding that, and how the whole thing is shaking up, the football department of sports, and also the resignation of these 4 MPs from the Patriotic Alliance from the Parliament.
Until 2026, the ANC is busy lobbying who must take positions. If they are not careful, Zuma is going to become the biggest party, and the GNU is the only thing that can stop Zuma, not the ANC. The GNU. If the GNU produces, if the GNU does well, if the GNU keeps to their promises and they change South Africa for the better, people will then say, but why do you change? You don't change a winning model. But if the GNU bickers and the GNU wants to play to the gallery and the GNU partners are fighting for each other, that's a gift to Zuma. Whether you like Zuma or whatever, Zuma got right what the ANC and all of us failed to get right. He managed to basically half destroy the EFF. The ANC couldn't. That thing is finished called EFF. I mean, like, it's finished. Let me tell you, they can talk. There's no ideology left. It's just insults that's left there. The thinkers that's left, the thinkers that remain, I'm told confidentially, they're also on their way out. So I'm saying to you that the DA and the ANC should stop put party first. and should put country first. We are one of the fastest growing parties now. We've just won a by-election on Wednesday. We won a by-election against the ANC and in George, or 20. So I'm not talking here as a party that's not growing. But you got to understand, we have to put South Africa first and put party second. Once you want to put your party position as country position, we are playing with fire.
Clayton, you've been the mediator in so many issues since you've taken up your position as a minister. What has been the highlight for you?
I think there was a lot of problems. I tell you, one of the 3 big problems for me since I took over, and I tell you what is the highlight for me. One of the 3 big problems I achieved was while we're busy talking to the people of the Formula One, I got a shock of my life, and we were busy telling them how great our country is when it comes to organizing events. And I got an email while I'm sitting in a meeting, and I look at on my phone, and it says that the Basketball Association is about to go public with the fact that we were supposed to arrange the under-18 African basketball tournament, and we canceled because we haven't arranged nothing. That was a week out, and I had to jump in, and that was nerve-wracking. Get all the staff to say, fix this problem. And we got a letter 3 days ago where the president sent a letter and saying, the president of basketball said, how you got it right was just phenomenal. Thank you very much. So that's the first thing. The second one was the National School of Arts. I heard it was closing down. I immediately, teachers were not getting salaries. I jumped in, sort out the problem, put them right back in. And the third one is the youth championship in Peru. I heard that the people at the airport and planes has not been paid. Flights has not been paid, accommodation. They needed some money. I jumped in, and the department jumped in, and we helped, called up a few sponsors. 10 minutes before they left, we paid for the flights, and we got 2 gold medals there. So all I'm saying is that we have, that was the bad things that we had to deal with. The good things is that, we are going to bring sports back to its rightful place, arts and culture. Artists are not being paid a living wage. Artists are not being recognized as workers. Our sports people, sometimes officials get first opportunity to sit in the plane more than the sports people. We're going to change that. We are going to invest in sport. We're going to bring the F1. We're going to bring the UFC. We're going to bring Power Slip. We've got a big announcement we're going to make on the 20th of November, which I can't say now. But, I want to get involved in all sports. I want to make sure that we don't take 140 people to Olympics, but minimum 300 to go and compete in the next Olympics. So we are on a roll. We are committed. We want to get rid of all this fat cats in sport that contributes nothing and that is there by political affiliation. Want to get the right people to run our sports.
Clayton, you have brought so much passion and energy to your ministerial position. What is your biggest priority going forward, not only as a politician and as a minister in the Government of National Unity, but as a human being?
I think the best part is social cohesion. We are social cohesion. I'm still being criticized for singing the stem as part of the national anthem. There's still people that still talk about the stem as a problem. Forgetting that the fact that the stem is there shows us how far we've come as a country. I always make an example where I say that white guys that was fed racism from birth, their eyes get wet today, wet when they sing, and they get emotional when they sing the part of Morena Buluka Sichaba Saruna. Black guys that fought to death not to speak Afrikaans. Sings with gusto, uit die blauw van onze hemel. And that's who we are as South Africans. My biggest job as Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture is to make sure that we are one nation under God. We don't have this black, white, Indian, colored. We need to move away from that. We are South Africans. And that's why when last you hear me talk about my party, I belong to the Patriotic Alliance, because I'm doing country duty now. if we can all think along the lines to say, put the country first before you put the party first. There'll be no party without country, but there can be country without party. And once we get into that, so I'm saying that's my biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is to bring social cohesion in South Africa, to bring us together and stop saying, why is there no black people in the rugby team? But we should rather say, why is it that black people don't have the same access to sport, and fix that? And the outcomes, I said, you can't expect equal outcomes if there's not equal participation and equal access to the sport and sporting facilities. That's what we should be looking at. Equal access, and we will get the equal outcomes. So I'm just saying, let's build this country. We South Africans, we are a marvelous country. We're the best country in the world. And I'm happy, because I'm not happy to be a minister. People think I'm happy to be a minister. No, I'm happy to be able to serve our country on this level. And I can see the wonderful country that we are. We have forgotten that we're one of the best countries in the world. My son was telling me he was in a foreign country, and he said there was 10 of them, 30 of them, and they'd introduced themselves in class. Which country are they from? He says, and they all said different countries, but when he said South Africa, people start clapping. We're special, and we have forgotten that. We are the best country in the world, and I'm going to play my role as the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture to take us to the top.
Yeah, brilliant, guys. So let's quickly get into the reports. I think I'll be taking quickly the reports here from Times Live as regards, getting McKenzie's reaction to Danny Jordan, especially now that there's a lot of call asking Danny Jordan to step down as SAFA boss, you see. So this report says that McKenzie distances himself from SAFA saga after calls for Jordan to step down. It says that Sports and Culture Minister Gaten McKenzie has actually distanced himself from calls for South Africa's Football Association President Danny Jordan to step down amid the fraud and theft charges against him, totaling 1.3 million rand. In a video previously, I think I made it on this channel as well, Danny, Gaten McKenzie actually said he would take decisive action against SAFA if they do not perform, especially from the perspective of Bafana. But anyway, this whole Danny Jordan issue, I don't know if probably this might end up in Danny Jordan resigning, but anyway, we'll see. So he said Danny Jordan, along with SAFA CFO Gronny Hluyo and also businessman Trevor Neatlin, they actually appeared in a Palm Bridge Magistrates Court on Wednesday, securing 20,000 rand bail each. All right, Hluyo and Neatlin were actually ordered to surrender their passports to the investigating officer, while Danny Jordan was allowed to keep his passport for duties that might require him to travel beyond South Africa's borders. All right. So according to Gaten McKenzie, he says that we will meet SAFA upon their return next week, not to interfere, but to understand how this latest development will affect soccer. FIFA rules don't permit government interference, said Gaten McKenzie. He also said that attention should rather be focused on the upcoming Bafana matches against Uganda and South Sudan. And he says that the next 5 days are the most important days for Bafana as regards qualification. So he's actually pushing that this shouldn't be a distraction to the Bafana gang. Football team. So he says that McKenzie also previously expressed skepticism regarding Danny Jordan's leadership, questioning Bafana, and I made that video on this channel. He questioned Bafana's prospects under Jordan's guardians for the African Cup of Nations qualification. He said that, I don't have full confidence. I've got full confidence in rugby at the moment, because full confidence doesn't come with talk. It comes with results. I've got full confidence in rugby because the results are there to show. In contrast, EFF actually also welcomed Danny Jordan's arrest, calling for a thorough investigation. And the EFF says that they call for a thorough investigation and independent probe into, the finances of SAFA and how they have been used during the tenure of Dan Jordan as president. According to Leanne Mathis, the EFF spokesperson, she said there must be special focus on where the finances of SAFA have been directed under his tenure, including procurement and payment of service providers, which are most likely linked to the ANC and benefited the ANC as an organization. So that's where the whole thing with Danny Jordan's resignation is. But then I think this other news regarding the resignation of these 4 young MPs from the PA in Parliament is also really interesting. I was also interested because I didn't understand why these young MPs would be resigning. You see that in Botswana, Dumaboko, the new firebrand president, actually has his full cabinet full of young people. And so the Patriotic Alliance actually had that example. But now that the young people from PA are actually resigning from the parliament, I was really concerned. So there's a report I found on IOL about this. It says that we have no crisis, says Gaten McKenzie, and MPs' resignation are a part of the local government preparation. We know that there are by-elections coming up, I think somewhere in December, and I think that was a move, a strategy, or 2026 anyway. This is local government election, and this was a strategic move by Gaten McKenzie. So it says that PA leader Gaten McKenzie actually says that all party MPs who resigned from the parliament are part of the larger strategic move ahead of the 2026 local government elections, all right? It says 4 MP members, including the youngest ever MP, Cleo Wilscott, and Katrina De Bruyne, Gavin Jonas, and also Stacey Lee Gabi Chojane has actually resigned as MPs after serving less than 5 months in office. Parliament also confirmed that the resignations have been processed, and also McKenzie took it to X to clarify the matter after speculations emerged that the members were not happy. He said he maintained that this was a part of their plan to emerge victorious in the upcoming local elections. A little bit strange, but anyway, these are in-house issues. We have no right to comment. So he says that all card-carrying members of the Patriotic Alliance have been aware for weeks that we have asked half of our MPs to resign and a lot of our councillors. We are preparing for 2026, and this is all part of our strategy. We have no crisis. We have disciplined members that heeded the call of the NEC, said Gaten McKenzie. He further explained that the members who have resigned will receive their salary, but this time paid by the party. The party will be paying them for going forward because most of them will be doing party work. So in other words, since the parliament, the government won't be paying, the taxpayers won't be paying their salaries, the party now, Patriotic Alliance, will now be paying these members because they will now be working towards the victorious elections that will be coming up by 2026. McKenzie says we cannot destroy these people and call ourselves a caring party. And also party member Patrick Sindane also confirmed that these were not forced resignations, and he says that I can confirm we have been taken through, and so are the affected individuals. These are not forced resignations, he wrote on X. So anyway, that's what we have from the PA at the moment. I hope you enjoyed Gaten McKenzie's enthusiasm in this video. You can see how enthusiastic and positive he is for South Africa. And I think this is a really promising thing, because even though South Africa seems to be called the mother capital of the world today, having taken the baton from El Salvador, El Salvador used to be the mother capital of the world. Now South Africa actually seems to have taken that baton with 82 murders a day and 4 rapes every hour, according to the statistics on there. But anyway, Gaten McKenzie seems to be really positive and really pushing, to fight hard to really present a really positive image for this nation. I think this is really important, because what we say with our mouth actually goes a long way to really establish some things, in the way things go on, and set the tone for how people will relate for a situation or a person or even a country. And Gaten McKenzie is actually doing that at the level of sports. But anyway, I don't know, what do you guys think about his speech here in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments.